podcast. This is the only podcast where you're gonna build the three S's. So, Superman, according to Nietzsche, it's a superior man who is equally balanced in being strong and in the same time having the right mindset to overcome any challenges, and in the same time it's a smart person, like very intelligent. Over here you're gonna build all those three S's. The spirit, as I said, I'm gonna call the second one shredded, and the last one is gonna be smart. It's gonna be breakdown in three different main things, as I said. And one is the smart one. I'm gonna just break down a book, what I've been reading. So every week I'm gonna just break down a new book, what it helped me, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna help you as well in seeing the world a bit differently than how it is, and staying more on track to your right goals. Shredded, it means that we're gonna speak in this section about nutrition, about health, and about how to have the right body you want to achieve, as everybody's having different goals about a body. You might want to lose weight, you might want to build some muscles, or you just want to get ripped. So I just call this section shredded, to have the right aesthetics to be a superman. We're gonna break down as well different workouts, what it helped me to stay fit. As you can see, I'm not a lack of gains, definitely know what I'm talking about. And in the last one, we're going to speak about the spirit. So this section is about challenges, discipline, how to overcome procrastination, and in the same time how to have the right mindset to overcome the fear and anxiety you dealing day by day. And in this episode, the first book, it will gonna be a very short book, but because it's small doesn't really mean it's a bad book. You're gonna learn so many things from this book, which is called Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. This book is basically a fable which is in four different characters. Each one of them is having a different type of personality, which actually all four those personalities are in us as well. The sniff is a mouse who senses changes earlier and quickly searches for new opportunities. Scurry is another mouse who takes actions and adapts without overthinking. Ham, a little person who resists changes and fears the unknown. How, a little person who initially resists but learn to adapt and embrace change. So as I said, in this book, it's really helpful for you to understand what actually it means and how you can actually apply those stories, this actually story, into your day by day life, in how to overcome different fears and how to change actually yourself and the way you think with the time. So because we are in a different environment, when we work in a different environment, we just adapt to that environment. So we want to change ourselves and not just get too comfortable, and as soon we see certain changes in our environment, to be very aware and predict the changes. So in this case, we're gonna avoid any sort of fear, and we're gonna not stay in the same place and be uncomfortable. The story, as I said, are the characters are in a maze searching for cheese. So cheese is just in the story itself, obviously we're speaking about the cheese, but in real life it could be a job, it could be money, it could be a relationship, it could be in the same time a friendship, or a different call what you're looking to achieve or you desire. One day they discover a large stash of cheese, what we're gonna be called, which in the book it calls Cheese Station 6. Over time the cheese actually run out, and the characters, all of them, they just react very differently. Sniff and Scurry, anticipating the depletion, they quickly set out into the maze, find the new cheese. So how actually the story starts? All those four characters live in their own house. They just wake up every single morning and they just go to find cheese. Each one of them, they take their shoes and they just go through the maze. Sniff and Scurry, as being just so houses, they just go by instinct. They just go straight into a wall. It's not there. They just go on a different side and till actually they find Station C cheese. The little people who are actually the same size as mouses, they are having a brain, which is very differently, than actually being an animal. So they are not based just on instincts. They think. They do exactly the same thing. They take their shoes and they just start running through the maze till they find Station C cheese. In the moment they find, that the next day, all of them just like going and they just follow same path through that cheese. As the days pass, the little people actually start to get comfortable. In the morning they don't run anymore to get their cheese. They start getting more comfortable. They start walking. As the days passes, they start like taking their flip flops. They don't even take their running shoes. When the actually mouses, they just took their shoes off in the first day. They put the shoes on their neck, and they always have the shoes with them. They didn't leave them home. They always are really, really prepared because they just follow their instincts. As I said, the day passes, and with time, the little people get that comfortable that they are not in a rush. They became lazy about it. They just bring even friends, to show them the cheese what they have, and they just enjoy what already happened. Think it's been done for them forever, so that thing is gonna last forever. As the day passes, the supply cheese from C-sections cheese is actually starting to get shorter and shorter, till in one day when they actually came, there's empty. There is no more cheese over there. Sniff and Scurry, they do just one thing. What they do, they just put back their shoes and they just running back to the maze, looking for different supply. By instinct, there is no there. They just start running to a different place to find the new cheese. When the little people, they just arrive over there and they just can't believe it's not there. They stay for a bit. They came back the next day. They expected the cheese supposed to be there. They expected that it's been done for them and someone moved it, so we're gonna bring it back. Because this is how the things they did, they didn't accept a change, which is hard, like in our life, it's exactly the same thing. We can't really accept a certain change in life, and because of that, we just starting building anxiety around it. We're getting scared of them, and instead of adaptation, we just expecting things to stay exactly the same for us because it's a comfort zone. As the day passes, the mouses, they just don't stop. They just run through the maze till actually at some point they found Station and Cheese, who is a massive supplier of cheese, and they just stay over there and they starting having their own supply. But for little peoples, they just can't accept the change. And instead of that, they just like complain and they just start saying like, what happened to me? Why us? To bring us the cheese back. They deserve to have their right. They're thinking that the world is actually their enemy and they expect things to be done back for them. They even actually take tools to make a dig and to dig into the wall, expect to find their cheese supply. Which actually one of the little people, which is how, starting to looking for an escape. When Hemis keep telling him like why to go in the maze, you're not scared of it. They starting having a fear to go back into the maze. The maze what it used to be actually so normal and comfortable for them in the past, now is actually something what it's fearful for them. What they don't want to accept the change itself, and they just start questioning and they stay in the same place. Either they don't have any food, they just want to stay in the same place instead of actually going forward. So the change. You always want to keep an eye on your cheese and recognize when early signs of change. When we're gonna see certain things change, we need to recognize them, to see them before they actually happen. Another key lesson to gonna be adapt quickly. The faster you let get old to the old pressure, to the old thing what you've been attached to, the sooner you can embrace the new one. This is what actually, like it happened to them. They just can't get let off the cheese. When Howe is actually going by himself to find a new cheese supply, and he just found at some point some pieces of cheese. He eats few of them, and he take another few to bring it to his friend. When his friend tasted the cheese ham, he said it doesn't taste like an old one. He's so attached emotionally to the old cheese that he can't accept the change. Still, he can't accept the change. How going again into the maze when he's actually finding in the end, when he's leaving as well loads of signs into his way, writing on the wall certain odd notes for his friend. Hopefully he's gonna have the courage to go back into the maze, to embrace the path, what we're gonna actually give him the reward. We need to understand that we need to actually having a reward, something to actually have value, it needs to be hard, because we won't really appreciate it. We're gonna become just too comfortable for it. So we need to overcome fear. Fear is a barrier to growth. By taking action, often introduced. Fear is something which is in all of us on a different scale, depends on the environment and depends what we're doing. The more you put yourself into that fear, the more our brains understand that is just an emotion, and the more rational we became about it, we just beat the fear away. We need to embrace the change, because change can lead to new opportunities and growth. Staying in the same place is just comfort zone. Nothing grows in a comfort zone. We need to expose ourselves every single time and every single day to a different type of stress, which is actually making us tougher and thinner with the time. And enjoying the journey. You have to enjoy the journey. You have to enjoy, they had to enjoy the maze. Because if you see the maze from their point of view being so hard and so difficult, it takes out everything. When you too much focus on the goal, you forget about the journey and you forget about the reason in enjoying the present and everything what it happens. Adapting to change and exploring new paths can be much rewarding than staying on the same path every single day. Some of the memorable quotes from this book, what I'm gonna want to share with you, is like, what would you do if you weren't afraid? It's quite strong and quite powerful, when you think about it. What do you actually do if you weren't afraid to take the action? How much actually your life will change if you weren't afraid about it? Another one we're gonna be, when you stop being afraid, you actually feel good. You start laughing about yourself, because the scare and the anxiety around it, it's just into your mind. You realize that it's nothing there, and you're just laughing at yourself because it sounds foolish that you've been scared just of that. And the quicker you let go to the old cheese, the sooner you find the new cheese. So you need to let go to the old problems. You need to leave them in the back. It's another book that reminds me now. It calls the four paths, if I'm not wrong. The four agreements. Thank you to my producer over here, Andy, who reminded me about that. In the four agreements, it's quite interesting. We have the angel of death, the death angel, who owns everything on this earth from this second in the past, telling us that everything is just owned by the death angel and we don't own anything. So in this situation, the easier you're gonna get all of the old cheese you're gonna get rid of, the much sooner you're gonna find the new one and you're gonna embrace it. In conclusion, I want to speak about this book. It's to encourage readers to stay flexible and proactive and positive in the face of change. It's metaphorically guided to overcome resistance, navigating uncertainty, and finding success in life and work. It's really, really important for us to understand the situation where we are and to don't get too attached emotionally to the problems what we have. Because as King Solomon said, everything shall pass, at the end of the day. So as soon we're gonna have good things, we need to remember that we're gonna be bad things in a certain equal measure. So the more we're gonna go forward, the only action what we have actually to take is to go forward and to make sure we don't stop. This is gonna be the section where I speak about smart, when I just break down the book what I just telling you, which is very, very important, like to take those key takeaways, to let go of fear, to take responsibility for what you have to do, to learn from the failures where you're going through, to be proactive, as I said, and to stay flexible. The next topic where I want to speak, it's actually shredded. Why shredded? In this new time of society, it's selling quite a lot to be ripped, to look in a certain way. But even if we look back in time, like 2000, 4000 years ago, we have the Greeks. We have like those mythological gods, which in all those sculptures what we have, who still exist, all of them, they look shredded, they look ripped. So if 4000 years ago we imagine that a god, a divinity, we're gonna have this power, this type of aesthetics, that means in this time they are equal, to show that a strong and a powerful and a superman, it should have those qualities, those body type characteristics. Health and longevity, obviously, it's very important. So you can see straight away by how a person looks, if he's actually healthy or not. I know it will gonna be situation when you gonna have certain health issues what we are not aware of. But I can tell you from now that if you look at, most of the time when you look at a person straight away, you can see that if he's healthy by the way he looks. Being muscular, it shows in the same time confidence. In a room full of people, most of the time, the person who is listened is the person who looks the best. If we look in as well in a time of choosing a president, if you look till like 200 years ago, America choose their presidents. Unfortunately, and I'm saying unfortunately, probably in a good way, but most of the people voted for people who will actually win in a fight between them. All of them, they are being chosen in most of the cases by the way they look, because they show confidence. So the body and the way we are and how it's representing ourselves, and it's very important as well for like self-image, the way we look. Got a bit dry or not. Staying shredded as well, it helps with like a lot of chronic illnesses like diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. It improves energy level, making you more productive at work and in life as well. As I said, confidence and mental strength. Looking shredded gives you a confidence boost, whether you are in a boardroom or in a beach. Discipline in fitness carry over into every area of life. If you discipline in fitness, you're gonna be much easier to be disciplined in a certain area of life. A shredded vegan physique proves that plant-based diet aren't just healthy but optimal for muscle building. You're breaking the stereotypes. As I didn't really mention it, I'm actually vegan, which I'm the proven, and I can show you, as I said, like it's not. It's about the looks as well. Like you can tell whatever you want, and you have like so many stereotypes saying that you cannot take enough protein a day. I tell you what, I eat almost 300 grams of protein every single day, and I'm vegan, and I don't touch and I don't harm any sort of animal. It's very important to master your calories. This is what it's about, and this is what actually means to be shredded. To have very, very cool quality, your intake or your outtake of calories. So you need to make sure that you're tracking. You need to make sure that you know what you put into your body. The more aware you have on what you put into a body, the more you're starting being aware about life and everything what it happens around it. When you start realizing, when you start reading labels with your own eyes and see how much calories you put from certain elements, your lives actually start changing, because at the end of the day you start in becoming aware of what you eat. And when you see with your own eyes, a case study done quite recently in America on 200 students, it shows that those 200 boys, they just like lose weight by just tracking. They didn't actually look to stay on a deficit of calorie. They just track, and they all of them, they just end up losing weight because they starting being aware and seeing with their own eyes what they actually put into your body. So in day by day, they just starting being rational about the food what they eat and starting making the right choices without even having the knowledge on what is good or what is bad for them, just from the numbers what they introduce into the app. There are loads of apps what you can track calories, and you can see how you can do that. One of my favorite one what I recommend to my clients as well, I'm having as always my own app, but I recommend to my clients to use MyFitnessPal. It's free, it's easy, you can scan a barcode and it's gonna put you straight away into the app. You can choose the numbers of servings. It's very straightforward, and as I said, it's free. I definitely highly recommend you to use MyFitnessPal and to get used to it, to have it on a everyday tracking shit just for you, and you're gonna see for sure results. And at the end of the day, you will hear, this is what I'm hearing from most of my clients: I don't have the time to track, I don't have the time to do that. I tell you what, it doesn't take you more than 1 minute and probably less, 30 seconds, as soon you do that on a daily basis. As most of us, we just eat pretty much exactly same thing every day, even if we are not aware of, though we eat in exactly pretty much same things. I found it quite a lot. Some of my clients say, I can't stay on a meal plan, I need variety. And when you ask them, like, look, just track what you actually eat in a whole week, and as soon they realize how often they eat exactly same meals, they found it much easier and they see more actually variety staying on a meal plan than they will actually eat by themselves. So I can highly recommend you to start tracking what you eat without even thinking to put yourself into a deficit or intake calorie, depends on your goal, and you're gonna start seeing better results, I guarantee you, from the first couple of weeks. Sorry. Another thing what is very important to stretch, important for you, and in same time, when you start incorporating cardio with the strength training, you're gonna start see the results what you want. You're gonna, from strength training, you're gonna have like to build muscle, and same time you're gonna have better bone density, who are gonna help you to be much stronger. Incorporate cardio as well. The cardiovascular activities are gonna help you to have a better heart rate, a better body physique. You're gonna be much fitter, and in same time you're gonna start losing the body fat percentage what you're looking to have. If you're staying consistent with all those things and staying consistent with your meal plan, it's sustainable that you can have the body of a Superman. If you're looking to achieve more and if you struggle with that, I'm having some free ebooks who are gonna help you for sure. One is gonna be a meal plan design, and it's for free if you need it. And have another ebook which is again for free, how we're gonna help you to stop binging and stop dealing with different carvings, which is for free. I'm gonna leave the link in the description over here, and if you want it, you can just grab it, and it will might help you. I guarantee it will gonna help you, but it will might help you if you just download it. Another thing what I'm really want to speak about is the spirit. I'm gonna go now to how important actually is to build the right spirit, to build the right mindset, because we're gonna meet loads of people who speak about books, who read books, who start actually working out, but if you don't have the right mindset to stay consistent, to stay disciplined, to overcome certain barriers what you're dealing with. As it's quite easy to procrastinate if we don't have the right time management, if we don't think what is actually the goal what we started, if we don't remind ourselves why we started, and we are not as well very grateful for the day what we passed. Those are the main things who are gonna help you to have the right spirit. One of the things what it helps me every single day to do that is the fact that I meditated twice a day. Through my meditation, I'm just going to a mindfulness section, which I'm just focusing on my body parts, and I'm focusing on breathing into my eyes. I'm focusing as well in what I hear, so I'm starting getting grounded with myself. I start being present and being aware what actually happened in the present, in the second, in that moment for me. The next section is basically where I'm getting in touch with my mantra, where I'm getting in touch with the person I want to become, with the person I want to be from this present now, with the person I want to be in future as well. So I'm just getting more in touch with myself and with the mantra, who is basically just connecting me to the future me. The last part is gonna be a part of gratitude, reminding myself how grateful I am for everything what I achieve, for everything what I have, for the fact that I'm still alive and I have so many advantages. Being in the world where we are, where it's just safe, and I'm having the food what I wanted to have, and I'm having a place to sleep and a place to live, and at the same time a job. It's very very important to be grateful. It just keep us grounded and more humble into this life. And the last section, it will gonna be a part when I just manifest, where I just visualize the person I wanna become, the person I wanted to be. And in the same time, just building and putting those emotion of that person, seeing like I'm actually touching and feeling those moments what I actually wanna have. It's very very important to build the right spirit, as I said, for it, because having the right mindset, it's the key, the only key who's gonna help you achieve everything what you want. Because motivation just comes and goes, and every single day is different. But having the mindset to just overcome every single barrier, and having the mindset to achieve every single thing, it will not gonna stop you to become the Superman. This is what we're gonna look to speak and achieve every single time in our podcast. That's gonna be the part episode for today, and thank you for watching us at the Superman podcast. Stay tuned for the episode 1.